Welcome to the second webinar in our year review, our self-care year. So my name is Allie Phillips, and today we're going to be talking about balance and boundaries as it relates to having self-care. So the information I'm going to talk about is not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. It's meant to help you really take care of yourself. So just a little bit about me. I am a former prosecutor. I'm a legal educator and public speaker. I'm an author. I'm an advocate for animals and families. I'm also the founder and CEO of a nonprofit organization. I own my own healing business that includes Young Living. I'm a Young Living educator. And with all of that, I need self-care. So I am a self-care seeker, and that's why I'm really loving this series this year. And so if you're not familiar with it, each month for this year in 2019, a different self-care topic is going to be discussed. And so the online class is going to be the second Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we are now in month 2. And if you're curious to find the webinars, just go to my YouTube page. It's under the name Manifested Harmony. And you'll find a playlist called The Year Review. And all the webinars all year long are going to be there in case if you miss it. A lot of us really struggle with self-care. And so I love this quote by Julie Montague, who actually published a book recently on self-care called Recharge. And I recommend checking it out. And so because of a lot of us don't seem to take care of ourselves because we're so busy with our family and our kids and our pets and our work and our hobbies and this, that, and the other thing, it's really important that we do take care of ourselves, because if we do not fill our tank, we have nothing to give anyone else. So I'm choosing to take care of myself in 2019, and I hope you do too. And that's what these classes are all about. So if you have questions as we go along, feel free to type something in the chat. The chat is not able to be seen on the recording. But feel free to type something in the chat, and I will answer it as we go through this class. So February is the month that's all about balance and boundaries. And so we're going to talk about a lot of different things about how to get this, how to have it, how to have balance and boundary in a healthy way. So when we look at balance and boundaries, because to me, you can't have one without the other. And if one is lacking, the other is lacking. So when we look at balance and boundaries and how they're lacking, the result of that lack is stress. And stress is one of the most dangerous toxins. It's as bad as secondhand smoke. And so if we are doing and pushing and going and feeling like we'll never get it all done, well, we're never going to get it all done. I mean, I can't think of a time when I sat back and thought, wow, I truly have nothing to do. There's just always something to do. This is the world that we live in. So we're walking this high-wired tightrope all the time. And when we are lacking balance and boundaries, the result is stress. And stress causes us to either go into fight, flight, or freeze mode. And we're all wired this way. It's not conscious. This is just how we're wired. Some people, when they're stressed, they really go out and they fight, and they just fight through it. Other people, they flee. They just run and hide, and they go undercover, and they'll surface when they feel better. And other people just freeze. They don't know what to do, and so they do nothing. And when we're having this lack of balance and lack of boundaries, we experience more fear, we experience more anxiety, which is a response to fear. We experience more depression. Depression is actually a response to unresolved anger. And when we experience depression, because of stress, it alters the brain connectivity and it changes our behavior. And what happens is we end up gaining weight because we have higher cortisol levels because of this fight, flight, freeze response. And that results in higher insulin and lower blood sugar, and that's what prompts cravings. So when you think about all the times that you didn't set a healthy boundary and got really stressed out, or when you started to drop all the spinning plates because you were losing balance, it raises your cortisol, it raises your insulin, it lowers your blood sugar, and you start snacking. We've all done it. We have absolutely all done it. And then to make it even worse, our immune system becomes compromised. And then on top of all of that, we don't sleep well. One study actually found that 67% of stress is related to finances. And I just thought that was very interesting. And so when we look at balance and boundaries and how they may be lacking in our life, what is your natural response when you're stressed? Like, what is the first thing that came to mind when I said that? What is your natural response to stress? Do you fight? Do you flight? Do you freeze? Do you snack? Do you get emotional? Do you get stressed out? What happens? Well, let's take a little quiz here. And you can just do this in your mind, or you can write down your answers. And I'm going to ask you 10 questions. And think of the ones that you answer yes to. Like, don't even think about it. Like, which ones do you immediately answer yes to? And the more that you answer yes, the more stress you have in your life. So are you ready? Here's your balance stress test. Number 1, I don't like to socialize with people, especially when I have to. Number 2, I absolutely dread going back to work after the weekend. Number 3, I dread having to listen to other people's problems. I have no sympathy for them. Number 4, I don't like to engage in conversation. I like to keep it short and simple. Number 5, healthy activities like exercise and eating well aren't a priority. Number 6, I feel exhausted and or have low energy most of the time. Number 7, my to-do list keeps growing and growing. Number 8, my life feels claustrophobic. Number 9, I don't have that much fun anymore. And number 10, I can't push myself to do what I know what will make me feel better. I feel stuck. So this test comes from the book Recharge from Julie Montague. And when we look at how we answered all of these, the more yeses that we have to these questions, the more stressed we are. For example, it might be really hard to say, I dread having to listen to other people's problems, but I have no sympathy. When you are stressed and when you don't have balance in your life, you can't have sympathy. Your cup is so empty, like you don't even have a cup. But when you are balanced, your cup is full and you can listen to other people's problems without draining your cup. So does that make sense about how this stress test really indicates where you're at? And so I'm a big fan of Rachel Hollis lately. I am just loving her and love her book, Girl Wash Your Face, and the next one coming out next month, Girl Stop Apologizing. But she says, as long as you allow someone to treat you badly, they will continue to do so. If you're not able to value yourself, no one else will either. And this is one of the foundational issues when we deal with balance and boundaries. How we treat ourselves gives permission to other people to treat us the same. So if you are hard on yourself, people are going to be hard on you. If you, in your mind, say negative things to yourself, other people are going to say negative things. If you do not give yourself self-care, no one's going to care about you or give you the self-care that you need. So it's really a reflection based on how we take care of ourselves. And that's why I'm so passionate about this topic this year, because I see so many people struggling. All right, now let's go take the boundaries test. All right. So here we go. We've got more questions. Number one, and answer these. Again, if you answer yes, this is giving you an idea of how weak your boundaries are, the more yeses you have, all right? So number one, do you feel like people in your life take and give nothing in return? Number two, do you feel unappreciated by those closest to you? Number three, is your life too much of an open book? Or are you too closed off to where no one really knows you? Either are an extreme. Number four, are your relationships filled with drama and difficulty? Number five, are you concerned about what other people think? Number six, do you consult other people when making decisions? Number seven, will you do something you don't want to do so that you don't let someone else down? Number eight, do you say yes to too many things? Number nine, do you feel responsible for other people's happiness? And number 10, does your energy, physically, emotionally, and mentally, feel drained? If you answer yes to these questions, it tells you where your boundaries are. Too many yeses mean that your boundaries are something that people can step all over. But when you have healthy boundaries, you will not feel drained by the people around you. You will not feel drained by your life. You will feel respected. You will feel appreciated. You will feel joy in your relationships. You'll feel that it's safe to share and open up. You'll be able to make your own decisions. You'll have a healthy respect for living your own life, and you will have a healthy respect for the word no. When you physically have the energy to look at your boundaries, you're actually going to feel more equipped to identify the unhealthy ones and take action to repair them. So a little later on, we're going to talk about how to physically have the energy to do this. Because these are really difficult questions. And if you do not feel physically or emotionally or mentally strong, it's really easy to avoid this. And I have a couple of people that I wish were on this webinar because they really should look at this, but they're just not in a place where they can. They just don't have the strength to do it. So for all of you who are here, I'm so glad that you're watching this, either the live webinar or listening to the recording. So before I get into a little bit more about balance and boundaries, I just love this. If you are not familiar with the ULA guys, they're two doctors, and they have this amazing company called ULA and Living Your ULA Life. And these are the 7 things that they say to let go in 2019. And it's so true. We need to stop talking negative to ourselves. It happens all the time. We have to let go of things that we can't control. You can't be a control management specialist all the time. Trust me, I know this. I'm a PhD in this. And letting go of things that you can't control are going to give you more balance in your life. We have to let go of complaining, because that will throw you off all the time. One fun thing to do, well, maybe it's not fun, but go 24 hours without complaining. And when you catch yourself, stop yourself and flip it around. Because what you're doing is you're just training your brain to not complain. We have to let go of our past mistakes because they're in the past and there's nothing that we can do. We can learn from them. We need to let go of the idea that we need to impress other people. And this goes back to the boundaries question about, do you care about what other people think? Because until someone is paying your bills, they do not get a say in your life. They just don't. They don't. You do not need to impress anybody. You need to live your life because it's your life. And if you don't live it, who's going to? We need to let go of the fear of change because we're changing all the time. I mean, our cells change in our body all the time. Everything outside, everything in our world changes all the time. And if we fight it, we're not going to have good balance and boundaries. And we really need to let go of the opinions of others. That can really hold us back. So let's talk about whether balance is even possible. So it really is impossible to completely balance our lives, but what I have found is that you can identify a couple of areas that deserve your attention that day or that week or that month or that season, and let the rest go. And this is where daily self-care is important, because it will give you the strength to say, this is important to me this week, and the rest needs to step aside. Because when you are physically exhausted, you're not balanced. And physical exhaustion almost always comes in through adrenal exhaustion. It is a real thing. And I'm going to actually talk about something to help your adrenals. When you're emotionally exhausted, you're not balanced. This is when you snap at people or you shut down emotionally and you just aren't yourself. When you're mentally exhausted, you are not balanced. This is when you have a deadline or something that requires you to be present and focused, and you can't. No matter how hard you try, you can't. You're just spinning your wheels. And when you're spiritually exhausted, you're not balanced. You end up being cynical and you think everyone and everything is out to get you. You lack faith and belief and just can't see the glass not only half full, but completely full. And when your boundaries are unhealthy, you're going to topple from one side to the next all the time. You're just going to flip back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. For example, if you say yes to everything, or if you spend too much time with people who drain your energy, you won't have the time or the energy for the other parts of your life that are important to you, because you're just so busy doing for others. But when your boundaries are healthy, you can start to see that balance is actually doable. You can look ahead and not feel smothered by what's around you. You can look ahead to what you want and what you want to achieve and what you need to do in your life, and not feel like the world is caving in around you. And so one product that I'm going to talk about in a little bit is a product called Endogize, because it will give you the physical boost so that you can have the strength and the honesty to actually look at this topic. So one thing that I like to do is kind of get into a little bit of the energy world, because I am an energy healer in 3 different modalities. And so this month we're talking about root chakra, and this absolutely relates to balance and boundaries, because balancing our root chakra gets fear and the response of anxiety and depression under control. It helps us feel safe. This is our survival chakra. It is the relationship to your tribe chakra. This is where your instincts and your foundation and how you feel in this world, this is where it originates from. And this is where fear takes place and sets up, home in you. And fear can give you, can give very deep roots. So physically, our root chakra deals with our adrenals. Remember how I talked about if your adrenals, your fight, flight, and freeze mechanism is going bonkers on you, you just don't have the strength to even deal with this. Well, the root chakra deals with our adrenals. It also deals with our legs and our feet and our bones, because our bones energetically give us the structure to go through life. And when you think about people, are they, in their structure, are they standing up straight and looking confident, or are they hunched over and looking not confident? People who are hunched over and not looking confident have a weak root chakra. So let's talk about your root chakra. If it is excessive, which means it is overproducing, it is go, 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 go all the time, some of the things that can happen is you become an overeater. You also become sluggish. You become greedy. You hoard things. You don't ever want to, give up anything. And you also fear change. If it's insufficient, you have low stamina. You're disorganized. You don't have good focus. You're fearful. You're anxious. You even have financial difficulties. But if it's balanced, you're in good health. You feel vital. You feel prosperous and secure and stable. And even though fear is just a part of our human experience, you just kind of, crush fear. You just look at it and say, not today. I'm feeling too good. And this balance in our root chakra comes from a connection between the root and the heart chakra. When those two are connected, we feel really good in this world. So what are some things that you can do to balance your root chakra and to really get some good balance and some good boundaries in your life? Walk barefoot on the ground. Well, right now I am in mid-Michigan and it is really cold outside and we have a lot of snow and a lot of ice. I am not walking barefoot. It's not going to happen. But when it gets warmer outside, or if you live in a warmer climate, go walk barefoot on the ground. Go hug a tree. Go be with a tree. Be out in nature, or bring nature indoors. Or go to a place where nature is indoors, like an arboretum or a horticulture place or a greenhouse or a florist. Just go be with nature. In the essential oil world, you want your tree oils like cypress and cedarwood and frankincense and pine and, balsam fir, black spruce. You want trees to really strengthen your root chakra. And if you like crystals, your crystals are going to be black, brown, or silver. So I'm talking black tourmaline, onyx, jet, smoky quartz, rutilated quartz, hematite. Those sort of crystals are really good for the root chakra. So if you like, the energy of all of this, this is what you can do to strengthen your root chakra. And when your root chakra is strengthened, you have good boundaries. You can say no. You can say no all the time to everything that is not in your best interest. And you can have good balance by saying, no, I'm not going to do this, and no, I'm not going to do that because X, Y, and Z is important to me. That is a balanced root chakra. Now, one thing that I'm going to do is when I send you the recording to this, I'm going to include this chart. I'm going to include it with every webinar to make sure everybody has it. But this is kind of my top 10 guide to self-care. Things to do every day that are so easy. Like if you add all of this up, you're looking at less than a half an hour. It's about choosing joy and gratitude and self-love and self-care for yourself. It's about getting the toxins out of your shower and your bath time and using essential oils. It's drinking Ningxia Red. It's putting essential oils, the vitality oils, in your water and drinking them every day. It's putting essential oils in your skincare, your lotions, everything that you can nourish yourself with. It's giving yourself quiet time every day. It's eating whole foods. It's moving and stretching. It's using Progestins Plus at bedtime. It doesn't matter what age you are, that is a serum we all need. And it's putting calming essential oils in the diffuser at night so that you can rest and you can sleep as well as you can. So let's talk about some other lifestyle recommendations, and I'm going to break it down into boundaries and then break it into balance. So because if you don't have good boundaries, you're not going to have balance. So that's why I want to talk about boundaries first. So with boundaries, hands down, number one, you have to learn to say no. This was a struggle for me because I tend to say yes to everything because I see opportunities in everything. But at some point you have to say no. This is what I am working on right now and I can't do it. So let's say you're working on being of a weight that you feel good in, or you're trying to eat healthier and your friends come to you and say, hey, we're going to go pig out on pizza and pasta. You want to come? No. No, I am not going to that, even though it sounds really good. So it's learning to say no. But some other things to think about when it comes to no, it's turning off your phone notifications, because every time your phone beeps and buzzes, you have destroyed your boundaries. You will get nothing done. You will not be able to focus. So you got to turn off your phone notifications. I personally respond to emails and text messages in the morning, at lunchtime, and in the evening. Because if I was on my phone all day, oh, good Lord, I would never get anything done. I wouldn't. So that's a good way to say no. You know, scheduling time to be online, not wasting away on Facebook. Do you know what you can do in your life if you just didn't spend so much time on Facebook? People spend hours a day on Facebook. I mean, you could read a self-improvement book, you could take a class, you could do the thing that you want to do the most. So scheduling the time, and when the time is up, boom, you're done. It's saying no to people who throw you off balance. Because if you don't value yourself, nobody else will. So people who throw you off balance, say no and surround yourself with people who rise you up. Another way that we actually say no in a bad way is when we make ourselves small. And we make ourselves small to help other people feel more comfortable. So when we say something like, like I work with a lot of people who want to build a young living business or just build their own business. And when they say, oh, it's just a hobby or it's just a side hustle, well, you just made yourself small. Be proud and say, no, this is a business. You don't have to tell them that you only spend 5 hours a week on it. That's none of their business. Just say, I have a business. But when we make ourselves small to make other people feel comfortable, it's time for a new crowd to hang out with. Next thing, don't compare yourself to others. So like I said, I'm a big Rachel Hollis fan. Like, she doesn't know she's my new best friend, but I will tell her someday. And this is what she says about comparing yourself to others. When you're engaged and involved in choosing to enjoy your own life, it doesn't matter where you are, or frankly, what negative things get hurled at you. You'll still find happiness because it's not about where you are, but who you are. So it's not comparing yourself to other people or letting other people drag you down. Don't do that. You're in your place and your lane at the time that you're supposed to be. Compete with yourself. Don't compete with other people. Don't let other people control your life. Don't let somebody tell you that you can or cannot do something. Nope, nope, nope. Don't let that happen, because it's your life. And I hear from a lot of women that say, well, Allie, I'm married. I'm sorry, that's not servitude. It's not. I'm sorry, it's not. Yes, you can certainly consult with your spouse, but at the end of the day and at the end of your life, it's your life. What do you want to do? And do it. The next thing is avoiding negativity by avoiding the people who drag you down. So think about the 5 people that you hang out with the most, and you are the average of them. So if you are spending time with people who drain you and drag you down, it's time to get into a new crowd. Some people you may have to just completely let go, and other people you just spend less time with. Another thing is, don't let dates throw you off. Now, what do I mean by that? New Year's comes along and you say, oh, okay, I need to have a goal and I need to do this. Well, we should be doing that all the time. So if you have a new goal and it's March 19th, okay, set the goal, don't wait until New Year's. Or when a birthday comes along and you do the opposite and think, oh, I haven't done what I need to do. Oh my gosh, I wanted to do this and have this, and it's my birthday and another year went by, and oh my gosh, I'm such a loser. No, don't let dates throw you off. Don't let a date control how you're doing on your dream. Your dream is going to go at the rate that it's going to go, as long as you're working on it. The next thing is to not let fear stop you, or let other people's opinions, like the fear of other people's opinions, stop you from sharing your dream with the world. Because every human being has something unique to bring to the world, and if they don't bring it, it's not going to happen. And yesterday, okay, just to go on a little rant, like on my Facebook page, I posted something about copycats. Don't be a copycat. You have something unique. I'm having to deal with a lot of businesses who are copycatting other businesses. There are so many ideas out there. There are so many things that haven't been done, that haven't been created. Be innovative. Because if you're copycatting, that's not a good thing. So that's my rant for the day. But You need to share what you have to bring to the world. So do it for you, do it for someone that you love, but don't let other people's opinions stop you, because that just speaks to them. It has nothing to do with you. The other thing is not breaking promises to yourself. This is accountability. So your subconscious knows that you cannot be trusted after breaking so many plans and so many goals and giving up on them. Your subconscious will make sure that you continue to break them. So you've got to break that cycle. So if you set a goal, do not break your promise to yourself. If you say, I'm going to have quiet time every day, you do it. Like, you do not go to bed until you do it. Because when you start breaking promises to yourself, you just violated your own boundaries. And that is now between you and your subconscious. And all I can say is, subconscious controls 95% of your thoughts. Good luck with that battle. Don't break promises to yourself. The next thing is to leave work at work, because if you are bringing your work home, you just blurred the boundaries. Now, I'm sitting here in my home office because I have 2 home-based businesses. Well, I actually have 3. Or is it 4? I've lost count. I have at least 3. So technically, the office is open all day long, 24/7, because my office is here. But I set times during the day. Like, after this webinar is done, I'm done. I'm done. I know I will have emails and messages and all these other things waiting for me. I will handle them tomorrow. You have to leave work at work. That is so very important. That is a very important boundary to set. So yeah, Kathy, I see from you, you do that a lot. About the promises, you have to be aware of the promises you're breaking. Yeah, really good point. The next thing, don't numb yourself, okay? I know all about this. Seriously, I have a PhD in all of this because I've done all the wrong things and I am learning how to do the right things. When stress is getting to you, when your boundaries have been stomped on, we numb ourselves. We numb ourselves with binge watching TV, scrolling through Facebook mindlessly, eating junk food, drinking alcohol, doing things that we know are not good for us. So it's important to remove those temptations. I have a friend who doesn't have a television. I think that's brilliant. Although I personally would miss my Hallmark movies and The Bachelor, but that's just my vice. But that's what she did. I know other people that they know that when they're stressed out, they want to have a glass of wine. So they just make sure that they don't have any wine in the house, or they don't have any chocolate. For me, it's crunchy stuff. Oh my gosh, you give me a bag of organic cheese popcorn. Oh, that is awesome. So I just make sure that I don't have it in the house. So again, going back to my favorite, Rachel Hollis, can you tell I read her book recently and I grabbed all of these great quotes? It's really awesome. You got to read her book, Girl, Go Wash Your Face. But this is what she says about numbing and kind of the seasons that we're walking through. She says, the difficult seasons we walk through are how we learn to build strength to manage any situation. Think of the strongest people you know. They have probably walked some pretty hard roads and built up the skills necessary to be emotional giants. When they encounter hard things, their seasoned bodies rely on the good antibodies they built up to handle that sort of scenario. They don't mediate because they are strong enough to manage their own, and they know that medicating and numbing themselves will make them weaker. Oh, I just got goosebumps when I read that, because that's true. So don't numb yourself. This is such a huge thing. All right, 2 more. Breathe deeply. When your boundaries are being stomped on, take in a deep breath and then say no. That's my response. And one last thing, strengthen your kidneys, because our ability to have safe and healthy boundaries originates in our kidneys. And so I'm actually going to talk about an oil in a little bit called Valor, because fear originates in our kidneys. Gee, we're talking about the root chakra and fear, how it originates in our kidneys. You see how this all relates? Well, valor is the oil for fear. Valor is the oil for your kidneys. So keep that in mind. We're going to get to that in a minute. All right, let's go to the next lifestyle recommendation. Let's talk about balance. So what do you need to do to have good balance? Well, you need to envision and be intentional in how you're living your life. Too often, we wake up in the morning and we have no plan. Now, if you have a traditional job, you just wake up and say, okay, I'm going to go to my job. But do you know what you're going to do? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But then what happens when you come home? Do you have a plan? Do you have goals? Do you have something that you want to create, something that you want to manifest? Are you working on that? Or are you exhausted from your lack of boundaries? So you're sitting in front of the TV, you're drinking a glass of wine, you're eating potato chips, and you're scrolling through Facebook. That's not being intentional, and that is not envisioning what your future can be. So when you start your day very clear about what you want to accomplish, you'll be amazed at how your day goes. And it really becomes important to pick 1, 2, no more than 3 things. So I wake up every morning. Actually, I do it at the end of the day. Like tonight, I will set the 3 things that I need to accomplish tomorrow before I go to bed. And then when I wake up in the morning, I look at those and say, okay, I need to get this PowerPoint ready for this webinar. That's what I said this morning. You know, I'm going to go to this meeting and I'm going to go to this meeting, or I'm going to send out this newsletter. And I'm very intentional. And you know what? I get it done because I envision it. So that helps give you balance, because when you get to the end of the day, you can look at what you did and say, oh my gosh, I'm a rock star. This is amazing. And it gives you balance because you're pursuing what you want. But the next thing is to actually pursue your dreams and not give up on them. To actually have a dream and go for it. And this goes back to envisioning and being intentional. Because when you have a dream and you're living your life, the life that you want, that's balance. That's what balance is. Yeah, things are going to go haywire. Yeah, you're not going to get everything done. Nothing's going to be perfect. You're not going to have an Instagram life. But when you have a dream and you're living it, my friends, that's balance. Okay? So pursue your dreams. The next thing is do what you can. Drop the need to do it all. So like I said, identify 1, 2, 3 things that are really important now. Do them well and let the rest go. And you can do that for the day. You can do it for the week. You can do it for the month. You can do it for a season. You can do it for a year. Pick up to 3 things and say, these are really important and this is what I'm going to focus on. If you can focus on 1 thing, that's even better. But no more than 3, and let the rest go. The next thing is to take care of your body, because I'm all about body, mind, spirit. So take care of your body. So here's what you need. You need good sleep. You need your vitamins, and here's the vitamins that you need. Vitamin B for energy. Vitamin C for your immune response, because we burn through vitamin C when we're stressed. Get your C in you. Vitamin D3, this is your happy vitamin. Get your magnesium because it relaxes you, and get your potassium because it relaxes you. Then get some adaptogens in you. Do you know what an adaptogen is? Let me give you some ideas. Adaptogens help your body adapt to stress and relax. So some adaptogens are astragalus. These are herbs. You can buy them in capsules. Oh, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Eleuthero. It's spelled Eleuthero. Eleuthero. Rhodiola is an adaptogen. Nervines are an adaptogen because they support the nervous system. So nervines are herbs like skullcap. I know this sounds so weird, but there is an herb called skullcap, chamomile, valerian, lavender, lemon balm, which also is called melissa. Those last 4 are essential oils, and they're called nervines, and they support the nervous system. You also want to eat small, frequent meals, because if your body is stressed, your adrenals are stressed, which means your fight, flight, and freeze mechanism is going wonky on you. Small, frequent meals nourish your adrenals. You also need to cut out caffeine, white sugar, and alcohol. I'm sorry, I just had to say it very fast. It's like ripping a Band-Aid off. Cut out caffeine, white sugar, alcohol. Boom, you just got to do it. Caffeine is the worst thing for your adrenals. And so when you're feeling physically drained, don't go to the coffee and the caffeine and the pop. You have to cut them out because they're making it worse. Get some morning exercise, get moving. One thing to do is to do what's called yin yoga, like really flow, gentle yoga. Two of my favorite positions are child's pose, look that up, and something that I just call legs up the wall, where you lay on your back on the floor, you scoot your bottom right up against the wall, and you put your legs up the wall. Oh my gosh, it is the most relaxing thing ever. I take conference calls in that position. So if I'm ever on a conference call with you, you know how I am. Let's talk about taking care of your emotions. Meditation or quiet time, crucial, because you got to give your brain some quiet time. You're not going to shut down your thoughts, but you're going to focus on breathing. You can Google how to do this. There's lots of great things. Using affirmations, daydreaming, journaling, these are all important. Exercise is important for your emotions and your mental state. Being social, like not locking yourself in your home and being a hermit. Because when you feel the need to isolate yourself, you do not have good boundaries in your life. Like you feel, if I go outside, my boundaries are going to be violated. This is where you got to take care of your emotions. Be social, but be choosy about who you're social with. Engage in daily self-care and engage in fun. Do something fun every day. So somebody did this to me 2 years ago and it worked. It was amazing. She put me on a 10-day fun challenge and I achieved a major goal doing that. So I want all of you to go on a 10-day fun challenge and check in with me every day. Like send me a message on Facebook and say, I did my fun challenge. Now, taking care of your spirit, connecting to Mother Nature, and just believing that you are going to have balance, you're going to have healthy boundaries, you're going to pursue your dreams, you are going to achieve your goals. You got to believe, because if you don't believe, no one's going to do it for you because it's your life. You have to believe. And then smell calming oils. All the calming oils you can get your hands on, that's what you want to smell. All right, so let's talk about some products here. So I have been challenging my essential oil team to a product challenge every month, and you are all very welcome to do this too. This month, it's all about the physical part of our body. So we're talking about Endogize and Endoflex primarily for women and Powergize primarily for men. Oh my gosh, there's so much I could say about these products. I am really going to try to keep this short because, oh my gosh, I'm already 45 minutes into this. All right, let's hustle. So Endogize nourishes and balances the adrenals. This is your fight, flight, freeze origin. And it supports and nourishes the entire endocrine system. It supports a healthy and balanced hormone and endocrine system. So that includes your adrenals, your thyroid, your pineal, and your pituitary, which help you sleep. Herbals are naturally balanced and don't push a system past its normal balance. So don't worry about getting overstimulated with this. It's not going to push you past where you need to be. It's going to get you to where you need to be. So if you've never heard of Marcella von Harding, she's a Royal Crown Diamond with Young Living, and she taught me that when Gary Young formulated supplements, he used different strategies, and in particular with Endogize, it is meant to give a large dose of herbs to your body. And so it's meant to be used for a short period of time and then stopped. And then you monitor your body's response and you resume it if needed. And if you don't, you just got it, kind of like jump-starting a heart. You just jump-started it. So this product was designed to get your endocrine system to wake up and respond. And then you rest and see how you're doing because you may not need it again. So there are some very, very powerful herbs in here. Like I mentioned, ashwagandha. No, I mentioned astragalus, but ashwagandha is also an adaptogen, and it's in endogize. And you just got to Google ashwagandha and see all that it does. All the ingredients in endogize, Google them. There's epimedium aerial in it, which is also known as horny goat weed, which I just giggle when I say that. But it's an ancient herb, and it gives you physical vitality. It's got tribulus fruit in it, which is used in traditional Chinese medicine. Which is really good for stimulating the endocrine system. It's got ginger oil and myrrh and cassia and clary sage, and I mean, it's got amazing things. It's got a massive dose of vitamin B6 in it and zinc. You use it for 4 weeks and then you stop for 2. And if you feel good, like you've been supercharged, you don't have to go back on it. But if you do, go back on after 2 weeks. So if you don't want to take the capsule, you can use Endoflex. Endoflex has oils in it for the thyroid, for the liver, for the nervous system, for the adrenals. It's got everything for your endocrine system. And it's really amazing. You can drink it, you can topically apply it. It's very powerful. And then when it comes to Powergize, Powergize, this is very similar to Endogize. It was created for men, but women can take it if you really want physical vitality. Because what it does is it boosts your energy levels for physical endurance. So it increases muscle strength and mass. And it gives you energy, but calm energy, like not hyped up energy. It helps you have a healthy response to everyday stress and overworking. It gives you, normal, balanced hormone health. And it has a lot of the same ingredients as Endogize, but it has different essential oils. It's got Idaho blue spruce, goldenrod, cassia. Those are all enhancement essential oils. So you can mix these. Men can take Endogize, women can take Powergize, but typically I find that the women take the Endogize Endoflex and the men take the Powergize. All right, let me check the chat here. Can you take Endogize and Endoflex at the same time? Yes, you can. Yeah, Endoflex, you don't have to do the 4 weeks on and 2 weeks off. Endoflex, you can just take because it's oils. It's not the herbs. It's the herbs that are in the Endogize that Gary put in there to jumpstart your endocrine system. So yeah, you can absolutely take those together. That's a great, great, great question. All right, so that's the product challenge of the month. Now let's talk about some oils. So we've done the physical. Now let's talk about oils for your emotional state, your mental state, your spiritual state when it comes to balance and boundaries. So let's talk about Ooh La Balance. Well, the name kind of says it all. Ooh La Balance has 24 oils in it, including rose, jasmine, angelica, and aquatia. So aquatia is amazing. It's really good for the pancreas. And for the last 2 years, we haven't been able to individually buy it because it's not that easy to get. So this is how you can get your aquatia for your pancreas. This is an oil that you can pair with another oil. So normally you don't want to blend a blend with something else. You don't want to take like Valor and put another oil with it because it's perfectly blended for a frequency and a result. But with Ooh La Balance, you can pair it with something else. So let's say you need balance in, I'm trying to pick something off the top of my head. You need to balance the fear in your life. Like, you've got a lot of fear, and so you've got boundary issues and balance issues. So you're going to put Ooh La Balance with Valor, and it will balance it. So you can put Ooh La Balance with other oils. That's what I love about the Ooh La oils. You can put them together and create harmony. But what Ooh La Balance all on its own does is it helps to pull your energy to center, to the core of you, and then redistributes it through your body. So you have better concentration, better focus, better positivity, which is exactly what it means to be balanced. It is a very powerful emotional blend. It's really good for anybody who gets overwhelmed. So if you suffer from overwhelm, you get the Ooh La Balance and you smell it. For anything emotional, you smell it. Get it into your brain. So it's a great oil for anybody who works too much, or who pushes back against opportunities. Like you have goals, you want stuff to happen, but then every time you get invited to an event or, to meet someone or to take a course, you push back and you don't do it. You use this oil because those opportunities are knocking on your door. It helps you to walk forward in life by releasing fear, because fear is a root chakra issue. It helps you to feel secure. It removes blocks. It helps you achieve your goals. It helps you with moving out negative emotions and moving forward in life. And it opens your pineal and pituitary gland to help you sleep. The energy of this oil does all of that. It's amazing. Oh, and it works on your nervous system. It's an awesome oil. I highly recommend it. Now let's go to your mental body. This is where your thoughts and your beliefs are. Your oil is Valor this month for balance and boundaries, because it's the oil of confidence and courage. Because, when I talked about people who have confidence, they walk upright. I mean, they have a straight back. They are not hunched over. They're confident. They have healthy boundaries. They are balanced because they are living the life that they want. They may not have completely gotten there, but they are working on their dreams and their goals. They are not letting other people knock them down. They're like, hey, this is my life. I have this dream. I want to write this book. I want to build this business. I want to do this. And they have that confidence. This is what Valor does for you. Because when we have fearful thoughts, that's a stress response telling you you're not balanced. You have bad boundaries. It helps to release the old patterns and let them go. It helps you to align and release what has you stuck. And it is amazing when you have fearful thoughts, because we all have them. We're human. It is an emotion that we have been given. It helps to combat it. And then for your spiritual body, really connecting and making sure that you are aligned so that you can have good balance, have good boundaries, have the life that you want. This is 10 oils combined together, including rose and melissa, two of the most expensive and high vibrational oils. This is an angelic protection oil. It is known as the oil of Archangel Michael. It strengthens your spiritual aura. And when you have a strengthened spiritual aura, guess whose boundaries are healthy and strong? Yeah, that would be you. So you use it during times that you don't feel safe around people or safe in situations. I use it during air travel because I'm crammed into a tin can with a whole bunch of people. You use it around bullies in the workplace. You use it to protect yourself from negative energy or just too much energy. This is the warm blanket oil. This is what I love to call it, the warm blanket oil. It is your comfort after going through a storm, not necessarily a real physical storm, but an emotional storm. It helps you to release other people's energies, because we often don't know if what we are feeling is coming from us or from other people. And it helps you to release it. It is the #1 oil for empaths. So if you are empathetic, you got to get this on you. I wear this before I give energy healing sessions or when I'm doing emotional release work. I wear it when I'm on airplanes. I wear it when I just need to feel confident and strong. And I put it on my neck. It's an amazing oil with animals too. They just love it. But this is an oil that opens your root chakra and aligns it to all the other chakras. So do you see how everything's starting to come together? I just love that. I love it when stuff comes together. All right. Now, I always like to give book recommendations. So let's talk about a book for your physical body for balance and boundaries. Inner Transformations Using Essential Oils. Oh my word, do I love this book. It goes through your body systems. It's got a holistic approach. It is amazing. And it is written by 2 doctors who are Young Living members. I cannot say enough good things about it. It is amazing. For your emotional self, Ula Balance, Finding Balance in an Unbalanced World, is an amazing book. And there's Ula for Women on Finding Balance in an Unbalanced World. I recommend reading the main Ula book first and then go to Ula Women. It'll help get you emotionally ready and set and go to balance your life. For your mental body, girl, wash your face. Okay, I've been quoting Rachel Hollis the whole time. This book is my jam. It helps you to move beyond the lies we tell ourselves. So she goes through 20 lies that we and the world put on us. And they've all become core beliefs. And she just busts through them. She is hilarious and blunt. She is my kind of lady. So this is an awesome book. And then for your spiritual self, oh my gosh, I just love Cheryl Richardson so very much. This book, Waking Up in Winter, I remember it was sometime last February. I just had a day where my boundaries were just not only squished, but they were set on fire. And I just said, I'm done. I'm done. I curled up in a blanket and I read this book in one sitting, and it just brought me back because it helps you find what really matters. And it doesn't matter if you're midlife. This is a book that is going to help you connect to what truly matters for you, because we fill our days with so much stuff that, frankly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So these are your book recommendations. Oh, here's another Rachel Hollis quote. She's my jam. I'm digging her these days. Whatever is going to give you more time, more space, more freedom to find your center, you say yes, please, to that. Say yes to that. Because we all know what it is. We just don't do it. Because we give ourselves to everything else, and then we're drained at the end of the day. All right, so if you are already not in Young Living, I've talked about some Young Living products, and I'd love to have you on this journey. You can get a starter kit. They just have a brand new starter kit, and guess what? It comes with Valor, the oil that we all need. So you can get your 24% wholesale discount, and whoever invited you to watch this, enroll with them. If nobody invited you, you can enroll with me. You get a private Facebook page, free training, free educational materials, and we totally take care of you. So if you're ready, just go ahead and get started. If you're already in Young Living, you can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and would love to have you learn more. And remember, come back, oh gosh, what day is it going to be? The second Wednesday of March, which I'm looking up the date right now. That is going to be Wednesday, March 13th is the next self-care webinar, and our topic is fitness, because so many people avoid fitness, and we're going to talk about some really interesting ways to take care of yourself physically. Okay, it's going to be amazing. So thank you everybody for joining, and I will see you next month.